everybody. I got double sleeves today. I did this with my left hand. I was so proud of myself. It's very hard. Anyway, we are inside for the second mindful message. We're getting a thunderstorm right now, so I'm going to finish my walk later. I am going to shoot out a little bit of a workout video every day this week. I'm going to be doing that soon, and I got some music videos coming at you after this. But let's get the second mindful message out. This one is ideas to get your kids' imaginations going. I am a highly creative person. I've been creative since I was a kid. I was also a preschool teacher. I am going to give you some tips and tricks to try with your kids to get their little thinkers going and have a little fun in the process. And I have my handy dandy notebook. I took some notes. Let's get into it. All right, first of all, playing make-believe with them at any time is awesome for imagination. So if you're playing store, make sure you become a character. If you are the checkout clerk, make the noises like boop. If you don't have a cash register that actually makes noises, be like, ma'am, did you know that this one is on sale? Like play, interact, like a regular adult would interact in a grocery store. If you're playing school, act like a teacher. It makes your kids giggle for one. It gets them invested in playing, and it helps them to create and play and improv right along with you. Again, if you're the customer and they're the cash register, you can ask them funny questions like, I have a coupon for this. Do you take coupons? Your kids will giggle, and it's going to make them stop and think. Anytime you do that when you're playing make-believe, you're really teaching them improv skills, and that's great for socialization. Getting to know other kids comes from being able to just fly a conversation, and improv can also help your kids that have artistic talent as far as theater or acting. They get very into it, and just all kids in general love to get into their play. They become the character. They put that superhero costume on, and they are Spider-Man. Okay, in their mind, they're fucking Spider-Man. So play along with them. Making stories up together. Either you can say this if they're not old enough to write, but like, let's make up a story together. One day I was walking through the woods and I saw a purple dinosaur. You look at your kid, what was that purple dinosaur doing? And they're like, that purple dinosaur was eating from the tree and it had a baby with him. So then you just keep going on with the story. You add a bit, your kid adds a bit. It's again improvisation, but it's also teaching them memorization because they got to remember the story. It's getting them engaged in storytelling for any future writers out there, and your kids love it. They have a good time. The stories are going to get ridiculous. They're gonna go left, you're gonna be on track, and they're gonna be like, and then there was a man in yellow pants. Just out of left field, because that's how kids roll, and you got to be able to invest that into the story. Don't just reject their ideas, like find a way to weed it into the story so that they feel like they added to it. You don't want to kick down their ideas too little, because then they're afraid to be creative. They're afraid to say the wrong thing. So when they're little, I'm like, yeah, that man in those yellow pants that came walking through and he saw the dinosaur too. Like, I'll find a way. And they'll be like, yeah! Because their idea got in. They're just excited that you thought their idea was good and that you used it. It's positive affirmation that they have a good imagination, and they'll keep practicing at it if you affirm that they're good at what they're doing. And they're little kids, so they're not always going to be good at what they're doing. But you gotta just like, you got this, buddy. You got this, little lady. They're going to be a hot mess. They're going to mess up. They're going to make a mess. They're going to fuck your story up. Don't show it on your face, okay? All right. Taking turns describing things, like when you're driving. I Spy is a great game. It gets them engaged in looking around. It gets them into describing things using adjectives, pronouns, nouns, vocabulary in there. Most of all, it just helps them to take what they see and creatively interpret it to everybody else. At any age, that's fun. Like, describe mommy, but I can't see her, so you have to tell me what she's doing. They have a great time doing that. Like, mommy's dancing funny. She's got things coming out of her butt. They're going to make it up. And you're just going to be like, things coming out of her butt. You can play along with it. And they'll laugh and they'll giggle and they'll get engaged. The more you make them laugh, the more engaged they are. You can play the question games, or I like to call it fake interviews. You can do this with a camera because I think when they're little, it's hilarious to play these like future down the road at their graduations. Like, what do you want to be when you get big? What do you think of adults? Like, ask them silly rando questions, and kids are freaking hilarious. You're going to laugh your face off, but the point is to get them thinking, to get them to develop their own thoughts and ideas and find a way to interpret them through their mouth. They're learning to take what they're thinking and put it into voice and action. And kids actually need practice with that. Like, you can ask funny questions like, if you were a princess, what would your name be? That's a good one for kids. Or, if you could be anywhere in the world, where would you be? Or, if you could do anything when you get big, what would you do? If you had $1 million, what would be the first thing you buy? Kids have no idea what $1 million is. They're going to say something crazy like a super slide. And you're going to be like, wow, that's awesome. Positive. You can make homemade movies together. Like, do the whole thing. Help them understand lines. Don't give them too many. Give them enough to be confident that they can do it and they feel proud of themselves, like a little monologue. Give them a costume, and be like, okay, we're gonna make this movie together. Again, it's hilarious to keep those forever. Your kids have a great time. All these kids are invested in all this social media, so they're very hip to it from a very earlier age than we were. Making movies is awesome to them. They're gonna get into it. You can make up stories about the pets in your house. Like, say you had a dog named Stinky. Like, let's make a story up about Stinky. Let's tell people how Stinky got their name, but let's make it funny. And you could just sit there and make a story up about your pets while your pets are in the room. The kids find this hilarious. You can throw stuff in like, Stinky got his name because he's a chronic farter. He farts so bad he burns your nose hairs clean off. Kids are gonna die laughing, especially anything about farts. I'm 39, I still laugh at farts. Play swords, like get a piece of French bread and play swords. Get a stick outside. Teach them to use things in a different way. It's a little bit like make-believe, but they have to use not just their imagination, but physical objects around them. It definitely triggers creativity. You could play music or write a song with them. Teaching the kids instrument is highly, like, I start with piano with kids. I think everybody can take something from piano, whether they go on to play something or not. You want to get the kids in younger. The younger you are with a musical instrument, the more they're going to have to practice. So when they're adult, they're going to be amazing at it. So if you want your kid to be a drummer or a violin player or a guitarist or a singer, voice lessons, this is the time to do it when they're a kid. Getting them invested opens up their creativity, and the more confident of a player they are, the more their creativity comes out. Feed whatever they're into. If you see them drawing, get them into drawing classes, or buy them how to draw books, or get those activity books where they have to finish drawing the picture. Whatever talent they're showcasing it, nurture it, because they're doing it on their own. They have a natural gift, and if you feed it, it becomes not only a love, but a source of their creativity. And the more creative they are, I just think they do better in life, because they can find a source to outlet their pain and trauma in life through their creativity. It's a tool they will always need in their box. I hope this is helpful. Have fun with those littles. They're only little for so long, and cherish it. The point is to have fun. As long as you're doing that, you can't go wrong. Nobody has a guidebook on parenting. But I think the best parents allow their kids to be creative at all times. See you next time. Bye.